Okay, so I got this hanging up, and I'll show you why. Because under here, if you can see, there you go, there's a metal bar that I glued on the inside, and it's holding this cord. It's just wrapped around the bar, and then the bar is glued onto the plastic, and then that comes down here. I stuck it up there so that the glue would stick, because it's going to actually be on the top, so I didn't want the glue to drip as it was drying. So it's ready to be taken down, and then we'll show it to you and work some more on it. I'm having a bit of difficulty with angling the camera since I cannot tilt the tripod, and I'm going to pull the camera off of the tripod here so I can show you what I'm talking about. So take a look at the tripod here. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the foot of it right here, this. Now generally there's 3 loops that fit around a screw in there, and all I got to do is loosen that up and it will go up and down. Well, that broke since it's just plastic, and there's glue in there, so it has no ability, this right here has no ability to move up or down at this point. It is positioned right like that. Now I can use the feet of the tripod to lift 1 or 2 of them higher or lower, and that can create tilt, but the problem is I can't get enough of tilt without it tipping over. So I'm having issues with that, but I really plan on getting another tripod and honestly another camera soon anyway. So that's my thought about it. I'm not saying it'll happen, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, so here we go. So inside the actual trap, there's a metal bar glued in there. Now originally I had this glued onto the metal bar, and I was going to glue that, and it was just going to hang outside like this. I didn't like the way that worked, so before I even got it glued in, I decided I was going to do something different. So what I did was I just took both ends, shoved it up through the hole on the top, and then my finger being the bar, it set in like this, and then when I pulled it like this, it glued, when I glued it to the lid, then it just held that like that. So it's a lot easier. If I were to do it like this, there was going to be space in between the bar and everything, and it would have just been a mess. So I fixed that before there was even any problems. Next is this rock. I am just going to place glue. Again, I'm using E6000. I'm just going to place some glue on this rock, and then I'm going to place it into the actual bucket in the back, because when it sits, this right here makes it tilt. But if I stick a rock right here, it'll keep it from tilting. So again, normally I would film this, but because of all of the jacked up stuff, I'm not going to. But basically I'm just going to put glue on the rock and stick the rock inside where I want it, and that's the end of it. So I'll show it to you when I get done. Glue, and I'm just going to stick my hand in there and position that rock right in there. Bingo bango. See, now it sits up. There we go. See, now it sits up without tipping over. And there we go. See, the rock is just glued in there, sitting on the bottom, which will create the stability of it when it's in the water. I could put more in there, but you know, that's just more weight that I have to carry, and I don't want that to happen. So that'll be enough. And if I have to add more rocks when I get to my position that I want to put it in, I can do that and sink it I don't have to have them in there permanent. That's plenty to keep it steady. So while that's drying, I did go to the storage unit today and I grabbed a few things. Honestly, it's summertime now. I'm really thinking about exchanging the EAT Dojo for my Bentley bunker slash, so that I can have different stuff to play with, at least during the summertime. So it might become a seasonal thing. I don't know. I want to do it. I haven't got the gumption to actually go in there and pull up all the dojo stuff and replace it with all the other crap. But I have decided this. All of that stuff is not just going to be stacked in there. I am only going to, I'm going to go through all my stuff and I'm going to pull out the items that I want to make kits for in rucks and things to that nature, and I think that's all that's going to be in there. Just that general stuff, and maybe some stuff that for projects and things. I'm not just going to throw everything in there like I did the last time. I didn't mind that, but I didn't really have very good access to all that crap anyways. It was just in a bigger storage area than the closet. So anyway, but I did go to the storage unit today, and I did pull out a few things that I'm going to be playing with here soon. But I did get this 2-liter bottle, and basically what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? I am going to cut the bottle, and then I'm going to make a funnel so that it'll fit inside here. And that will give the fish something to funnel into, and when they come out, it'll be more difficult for them to come out because it will funnel in, and at the end there's going to be like, I'm going to cut it like V's like this, so that it might poke them or whatever, so they'll go back in so they don't try to get out. We'll do that. So this is what I've got. Started out with 2-liter bottle. I cut both ends off. I cut this cap end off, and I cut the very end off there, and you get that. And then I just sliced it at the very small end so that it creates a kind of a thing there. So when the fish swim in, they'll swim in like this. That actually doesn't feel too good. Then when they try to swim back out, see, they'll hit these pokey things, and then they just won't do it. Now, I went ahead and took off this metal can, so now this is this hole, and I think this is going to work a lot better. It's going to be lighter, don't have to worry about rust or anything to that nature. And as you see, that hole gets smaller down there. Yes, much better. So I'm going to go ahead and zip tie that on, and then we'll see what the end product, well, pretty close to the end product looks like. Okay, so I just took a regular paper punch and put holes in it, 4 of them. And I'm just going to zip tie that onto the bucket. Let's see here, we'll go down through there. Just like that, through my there, and then we're able to zip tie it. Like such. We'll do that with all 4 of them, and I'll get right back with you. A little large in there. I don't know. I think it needs to come out a tad bit. And I'm going to have to cut these zip ties off. think I want it up here more. Give it more space. I think. Yes. I'm pretty sure. Alrighty. So what I can do, well, I guess what I can do is just cut some of this off. Let's just cut in here and just cut a strip of this off. There we go, we just made it smaller. That's better. That's better. Alright, so let's set that in there. And again, we'll take the hole punch. We will stick it right here. And punch. We'll stick it right there. And right there. And one more time right there. Let's try this one more time. It's only Dollar Tree zip ties. It's not like it's something that can't be replaced easily. Even though the zip ties would be a little more expensive now. And there we go. So I'm just going to set those just enough so that it's on there, but not enough to where I can't adjust, because I think adjustment is going to be necessary here for the first few. Let's get this in here. Just like so. And we will just there. Stick to the, there we go, and there we go. So there it is. Now I will pull this out a tad bit until I get it, I think right there. That can tighten up. I think that one should be able to be tightened up. That one is tight, and there. Good. Now, I do see two spots that have a little bit of a hole. Now, I'm not saying that the fish could get out of that, but just to make sure, we're going to do that. And go ahead and put two more into. There it goes, right through there. That works decent. And one more just to be there. And when I do that, it creates one up here. So sure we get pretty decent. Doesn't have to be fantastic. This is a trash trap, by the way. You know, it's just made out of trash. But it doesn't have to be crap. It can still be very effective. There we go. All right, I think that's decent. There we go. And then now the fish can go in here, swim down in. Ow, hold on. Ah, that really kind of hurts. Yeah, the decent sized fish aren't coming out of there. They get down in there and they hit those prickly spikes down there, and they're not going to want to come out, so. Which is exactly what I wanted. All right, so let's clear this off. And I think we have a pretty decent trap. Now, I guess technically it could sit that way upside down. The rock, oh, the rock's not glued yet all the way. Whew. I'm gonna stick my hand in there because it hurts to pull it out. So anyway, that's decent. And then here we go with being able to hang it. I just need to tie a loop in here. Just a knot of some sort, like whatever. And then I can attach actual cordage to this when I make the knot where I want it. I don't know exactly where I want it yet. And it could be really small actually, just right down here. Because I'm going to attach a thicker or better cordage, or maybe not, just different cordage, so that I can toss this in. This rock will help cause it sink to the bottom, and if I have to, I can put one up here in front, and that way make sure that it sinks, because it might sink just like this and just stay, you know, up like that. But I may end up getting another rock and putting it inside there in the very front so that it's even. There's no way about it. I'm going to do that. But anyway, I don't have to film it. I'm just letting you know that I'm definitely going to go get another rock and put it in the front. Now that we don't have this off-balanced thing, I don't have to worry about it tilting, just handling it. But once it hits the water, it may actually, when it hits bottom, it may float up like this, which probably won't cause any problems, but I just want to have equal weight here so that it doesn't flip one way or another and it goes straight to the bottom. So there we go. Trash trap is almost done, everybody. So here we go. So another rock. So I've got two rocks now, one in front, one in the bottom, so that will equal it out. Then when you stick your hand in there, dude, those things are, oh, those are spiky, pointy.
They hurted.
I wouldn't want.
They hurted me.
They hurted you. You wouldn't want to come out of that. So get a fish in there, they're gonna be hard pressed to get out of that, or even want to get out of that. So there we go. I think as it goes, this is pretty much done. I don't think there's anything necessary that needs to be done past this. There's enough of weight in this to sink it to the bottom and sink it evenly.
Especially when it fills with water.
Yes. It'll keep it from swishing around when a fish gets in there. And it's plastic, so it's lightweight. The only thing that really has any weight to it at all is those two rocks. But I definitely wanted to make sure I had those in there like permanent. Now to really make this a lot lighter, because I got to carry this stuff into the woods and stuff, but it's just two rocks. I could have easily left the rocks out and just at sight grabbed some rocks and just tossed them in there. Easily done, and it saves, I don't know, quarter of a pound. But I'm not that crazy about keeping track of weight anyway, especially since this isn't something that I'm going to keep with me once I get this tossed into the water, it sits. And when it comes out, it comes out. And it also keeps me from having to find the rocks. What if I'm in an area that doesn't have a rocky bottom or any rocks around, and what else am I going to find that's heavy to drop in there, you know? So I just wanted to make sure the rocks were there to begin with, so I didn't have to worry about them. And I don't want them rolling around, because if, say, for example, a catfish gets stuck in there, it's going to move around a lot, and or 3 or 4 fish get stuck in there. It's going to move around a lot, and I don't want it rolling around and getting stuck under a log or something like that. This way it just kind of helps balance it equally, and it also keeps it settled for when smaller fish, which is exactly what I plan or expect to get in this. This isn't huge by any means. I mean, you know, we got a little space here. It's not a whole lot of space. So I don't expect any huge fish to get in there. But we're going to try this out really soon. Really soon. I need to find some bait that I want to put in there. Oh, yeah. Bait. I have those frozen fish I was going to use for catfish. Oh, she showed me some bait. Gotta go. Bye. Okay, so lastly, I have the materials for one more of those traps, but I'm not gonna make it yet. I just want to see how this one does first. Gotta find some kind of bait that I can use. I don't necessarily want to use the fish, cut it up and throw it in there, because not all fish are gonna want to take that. I might take one of the fish though and cut it up, toss it in there, and use it as bait, just in a small area, I could go down to the creek and get some of those apple snails, which I found they are also called trapdoor snails, and they are also known as Chinese mystery snails. So I've been wanting to get a couple of those just to have, you know, 2 or 3 of them and video them, like get them in a tank or something and just video them, because they're really cool to watch. So I may collect. What is today? Today's Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. I got dojo, and then okay. So tomorrow's busy. Tomorrow I got dojo, and then after dojo, Michelle, myself, my brother, and Kelly are all going to the Messina for some fireworks and stuff. So tomorrow's really busy, but I do need to collect.
Sunday we're going back to Kelly's.
Sunday we're going back to Kelly's. Okay, so this weekend is rough. Maybe Monday. We'll see. Do you work Monday? Maybe Monday. So anyway, I think I might collect some of those snails just so I can video them, do some video on them, and also maybe use them as some bait. So anyway, and this project ties right into that, to be totally honest. I have been wanting a net, a landing net. I don't have one, but I do have this, which is the frame for a landing net. And I have this, which is a crappy piece of netting that used to be a fish trap that broke and got tore up, and I didn't want to get rid of the net because I knew I was going to use it for something. So this, coupled with this and some zip ties, creates a net. Poor person project coming up. So I think that this is kind of the ending of this. So what I did was I tied a knot in this, doubled it, tied a knot, and then I put glue on it and I hung it up and stretched it so that it would stay stretched, and it dried. So I think that's good. The rest of it, I've got both rocks in there. I've got the entrance and all that. All junk. All it's all made from trash. It's a trash trap. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to need some cordage to hang on to this when I toss it into the water so I can tie it onto the bank. So I want to stick to my trash trap motif, so to speak, and I'm going to use this cordage that I made from trash bags, or not trash bags, but Walmart bags and plastic bags of such. So that's what this is. So we're going to go ahead and, there we go, see, we're going to go ahead and use this with the trap, and that way I can throw it into the water. I can secure it to the bank so that I can draw it back in whenever I need to. So just going to go ahead and set this with this, and we're good to go. Now all I got to do is just bait it, toss it in the creek, and I might be able to do that tomorrow. I've got dojo tomorrow, and I'm thinking, and there I am thinking again, I'm thinking I might be able to find the time prior to the dojo to running by some branch of the creek or someplace where there's water and there's fish, and toss it in and just leave it, because it's going to have to sit. It's going to have to sit at least overnight anyways, and we'll see how it works. Who knows, it may work, it may not work. Just because it doesn't work once doesn't mean it won't work again, and just because it works the first time doesn't mean it'll work again. So you never know. I've got hopes for it, and we will just have to see. So until I can get it to the creek, I'm going to go ahead and call this done, and then hopefully in another video soon we'll actually see it in use and actually producing. So thank you guys for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.